Hello YouTube and preppers, this is the Comms Prepper. We got a slight break in the rain here, so we're going to get out and do some training. We got the QRP bug out bag radio packed up. We got Chameleon Antenna's new P-loop antenna packed up. We're going to hop on the ATV, find a nice quiet spot here in the mountain, set up, send and receive some HF radio email, break it all down, and bug out like we were never even there. So let's get on the ATV and get going. Alright guys, we found our undisclosed quiet location on an abandoned orchard road here on the mountain in West Virginia. We got our equipment pulled out of the milk crate there. On the right we got the FT817ND bag, and there we have our cables, the radio, and hardened power systems, QRP Ranger power supply. On the left we have the bag that ships with Chameleon Antenna's P-loop antenna. I've got all the antenna parts in there, and the modem for the Pactor radio system. And down below I have the laptop. The laptop's the only thing I couldn't fit in the bag, but right now I'm in the market for a new laptop, so I'm not going to invest in a bag until I figure out what laptop I'm going to use. So I'm going to pull all the components out, show you what each piece does. We're going to set this antenna up and show you how to operate it. Alright guys, we got all the equipment staged here on the ATV. Of course we have the ASU FT817ND 5-watt QRP radio. That's an HF radio, VHF, and UHF. We're going to run it in HF today. It's powered by Hardened Power Systems QRP Ranger 100 watt-hour battery pack. That'll also provide power to the SCS Pactor 4 modem, which will connect to the laptop and allow me to send and receive HF email. The subject of a future video on the channel, when we have some sun out, is the newest addition, and that's a flexible 20-watt solar panel to complement the QRP Ranger, provided by flexsolarcells.com, and I'll put a link down below. But this is a really nice panel. It fits nicely in the bug out bag, and I was able to make a custom cable to interface with the QRP Ranger, so we can actually charge the QRP Ranger in the field when there's sunlight through the rear jack, because the QRP Ranger has an internal charge controller built in with the unit. The Chameleon antenna here is a new P-loop antenna. It's a portable antenna, lightweight. These are the components you'll get when the antenna arrives. Of course, you'll get the tuning box, which is on a telescopic pole. You'll get the loop element itself, and then you'll get the coax loop that goes around that with some Velcro straps, and a piece of coax with an RF choke built into it. Sorry I don't have a workbench here. And that hooks up to the back of the radio. Now you don't need an external antenna tuner. On the bottom of the matching box is a knob, and this is where you do your tuning. You select the frequency you're going to operate on your radio in the HF mode, and turn the volume up, and you adjust that knob for max noise, and that's making the antenna more resonant. And once you've peaked out the noise level, then you come over here to this radio, you put it in the AM mode, and hit the push to talk in the microphone, and watch the SWR scale on the radio till it goes to 0, and now your antenna's tuned. So the next step in this video is we're going to set the antenna up, tune it up, get operational, and send and receive some HF radio email from our abandoned orchard road here in the mountains of West by God, Virginia. Okay guys, we're up and operational. Setup took about 7 minutes. There's the Chameleon P-loop antenna. I have it sitting on an old plastic ammo box to give me a flat surface. We got the outer loop there, held to the inner loop with Velcro up top. The coax connection that goes to the radio starts here at the bottom of the inner loop. That comes down and connects to your radio. And I have it sitting on a photographer's tripod. Now I use this because it allows me to balance the antenna when I'm setting it up on uneven surfaces. But the antenna does ship with an antenna mount that would allow that antenna to connect to a standard ham radio whip mount like that one there. But in this case, since I have the vehicle parked on a hill and I got that flat surface, I went ahead and used the photographer's tripod to keep this balanced. So now what we're going to do is tune up this antenna, and I'm going to try to show you how the noise changes when I tune that knob, and that's how you start the tuning process on this antenna. So I got to switch hands with the camera. I'm going to turn the volume up on the radio. And as I adjust this knob, you'll hear that audio spike. You'll hear that shift. And we want to put that right in the center where we get max noise, because that's where that antenna is resonant. And now what I'll do is I'll come over to the radio. I'll put it in the AM mode. I'll set the meter to SWR. Meter. ALC, SWR. And with the carrier coming out of amplitude modulation, I'll see the SWR and I'll be able to turn that knob and drop that down to 0, and we're ready to operate. Unfortunately, I don't have a cameraman today, and that's a two-handed job, so you're not going to be able to actually see that part take place. But what I'm going to do is take the mode, go to AM, and then when I key it up, you can see right now, actually I have no SWR. If I had SWR, you would see this little scale come up. So actually, let me give this little SWR. I'll go ahead and turn the knob. And now when I key it up, you should see SWR show up in that display. There you go. So that's high SWR. So again, we're going to go back to our digital mode, tune for peak noise, and then go in with AM, transmit, and fine tune. Alright, that's peak noise right there. And I'm going to wait till this station stops transmitting so I don't step on them to tune. So I'll be right back. I just did the two-handed tune. I'll go ahead and hit the push to talk, and you can see there's no SWR. So we're ready to hook up the computer and send and receive some email. Alright guys, we're all tuned up, modem's ready, software's open. Let's hit the start button and see if we can connect to that station in New York like we did last night. We're calling out. You can actually track the current draw of the radio and the voltage on the QRP Ranger. Our dial frequency is 7102 megahertz. Alright guys, well I apologize. The bands are not cooperating today, just like last Saturday. They've been redlined across the board. They're just starting to come up now, but now it's starting to rain. But it did give us an opportunity to show you the Chameleon P-loop antenna deployed in the field, up and operational, show you how to connect it to your radio, the different components of my bug-out bag radio. But this highlights that HF radio is not 100% all the time. You do need to have a backup plan. Sometimes propagation just isn't there to make that connection, just as today. And if you want to know if band conditions are good or bad, check out bandconditions.com. They got a nice website, shows you what the conditions are at present time, and it updates quite frequently. So we're going to go ahead and pack this station up, bug out, like we were never even here. And if conditions improve tonight, I'll set this antenna up again, up at the retreat location, outside in the picnic table, and show you it operational, and make some HF radio email connections. Right now we're going to pack it up and bug out. Took 10 minutes to pack everything up, stow it on the ATV, policed up our trash. I have the shower cap there protecting the VHF 2-meter radio, and we're going to go ahead and bug out and head back to the retreat location. Alright guys, I couldn't let go. I set the antenna back up again and the radio here in the retreat location, and now we have some propagation, and I have a good connection to that station in upstate New York, running 5 watts with the Chameleon P-loop antenna. We got Hardened Power Systems QRP Ranger powering everything here, and a nice solid connection with no SWR. From the mountains of West Virginia to upstate New York, running HF radio and sending and receiving digital communications with the laptop computer here. So let me walk out on the front porch and show you the antenna. So here's how I have the antenna set up. I put it out here on the deck of the retreat location, ran the coax through the window, turned the volume up with the window open, adjusted the tuning knob down there, to get the SWR right, to make that antenna resonant. Coax goes up, connects up there. And we have HF communications with only 5 watts of power from West Virginia to New York, where we can send and receive email. And as always, thank you for watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. This has been the Comms Prepper with a demonstration video for Chameleon Antenna's new P-loop magnetic loop antenna. Thanks for watching, guys.